Very great morning, ladies and gentlemen. Hope you are beautiful on this lovely day. I'm just taking in the sun, basking in the ambience, and just grateful to be alive. And there's something that my mentor always used to say, and it's something that I actually caught onto, and it actually worked for me. And he would always say that borrow my faith, borrow the faith of somebody who has overcome and moved mountains and done the biggest things. And sometimes it may seem like whatever situation that you're in at the moment will not have a way out. But if you start to borrow the faith of your mother, the faith of your father, the faith that they had to overcome and break through and make breakthroughs and make significant things happen, what kind of faith that they have, borrow your mother's faith. Borrow whoever has overcome the most scariest and the most challenging times. Borrow that person's faith. Borrow the faith of a mentor. Borrow when I read DJ Smooth's books, Billionaire Under Construction, the Leadership 2020 book, and the Sell or Surrender, I think it's called, I immediately bought into his faith. I immediately bought into the way that he perceived himself and the way that he looked at things. I used to borrow the faith of a Session Governor who was my first mentor and who is someone that I still follow. And I used to borrow his faith. I used to say, if that guy thinks like that, if that guy has that kind of faith, then let me borrow his faith. Let me step into that kind of faith and see where it leads me. Borrow the faith of a Maclera dope boy, a blackie. Borrow the faith of whoever you have seen or whoever you idolize. What kind of faith do you think that they had in order to reach their dreams? You may not feel like you have it. You may not feel, many a times, a lot of the times, actually most of the times, it feels like it's never going to happen. And we can't lean on our own faith because it's running out. It's like running on fuel, and just being wary of it not going into, it not getting depleted, and that's what happens with faith. We lose it. We literally come to a point where you feel like it's not gonna work. So for all the dreamers and hustlers out there, I want to encourage you to borrow the faith of someone that you really want to step in. Like if they say that copy well, right? Like, I'm copying a lot of people well. I'm copying a lot of people well, guys. Like this, do it your way, but copy others, but copy well. Like right now, I'm copying DJ Smooth. This is what DJ Smooth's doing. DJ Smooth made me do these videos. Peno, those guys that I've always watched before, those guys who would just take a phone and speak into the camera session. Like, I've always copied those guys. But now I'm copying well in such a way that I'm doing it my way. But I'm copying what they're doing. I'm borrowing their faith. I'm doing it like they're doing it so that I can get what they got. Do the result. Do the work. Do follow into the people that you idolize. Follow into their footsteps. Do what they do. Say what they say. And you'll eventually get what they get. My mentor Mark Caseta used to say that. And I want to encourage you today to start to, if you feel like if you feel like it's not working out, it's never gonna, borrow the faith of someone who did it before. If you're chasing a dream, if you're trying to graduate, if you're trying to get that qualification, if you're trying to get into the next space, if you're trying to just make some sort of a breakthrough, if you have to, borrow the faith to make it through, and you will thank yourself.